sports.
We are the North. We are the West.
Well hit to right field. Way back. Upper deck walk-off for Josh Hamilton, and the Rangers have won their 6th in a row. After what Ron Washington called a magical night, the Rangers try to close out a 4-game sweep of the Oakland A's this afternoon and head into the All-Star break with a season-high 7-game winning streak. And we welcome you, Dave Barnett, along with Tom Grieve. The Rangers entered this season coming off their first American League pennant by winning the first 6 games they played this year. They were the hottest team in baseball coming into the season. They can stay the hottest going into the break.
They can, and hasn't been a fluke either. I guess you don't win 6 straight if the numbers don't look pretty good to support it, and that's definitely been the case in these 6 games. All home games, the Rangers' average in those 6 games is .372. It's almost .350 with men in scoring position. They're scoring over 8 runs a game, so they're pounding the baseball. They're also pitching very well in this park. .350 team ERA. Josh has been very hot. Michael Young, Beltre, a lot of the others have chipped in. It's been a great 6 games. Hopefully we can say 7 games after today.
And the Ranger starter for this last game before the break, Matt Harrison, who has been one of the better pitchers in baseball, actually, with an ERA over his last 8 starts of just .236. We'll have the lineups. We'll have the first pitch on this beautiful Sunday afternoon in a moment. Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. By the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. By Jack in the Box. Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo is back for only $3.99. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Hardly a cloud in the sky above Rangers ballpark in Arlington. And the Rangers earlier honored their all-star selections. Ron Washington, his staff, and the 4 Ranger players who before today knew they were heading to the all-star break, and one who officially found out today, and that's Alexi Ogando.
Yeah, there's going to be some other people find out today that they're going to the all-star game too, because there's several pitchers that are starting today. And when you start on Sunday, you're not eligible to go to the all-star game. And that was the case with Justin Verlander. That was the case with CC Sabathia. And that's why Alexi Ogando is going to the all-star game. The other reason is because he's pitched well enough to go there. He earned the right the way he's pitched in the first half, and great honor for him.
Ogando was the next man on the player ballot after Sabathia and James Shields, who was next in line actually before CC Sabathia. So Ogando officially will be the 5th Ranger headed west to Phoenix after this game to be there for Tuesday night at Chase Field, the 2011 All-Star Game. And as always on Sunday afternoon home games, Rangers accompanied to their starting positions by some younger Ranger fans all over the park. It will be warm again, near 100 already. But warm barely begins to describe how the Rangers have been playing in the last 6 games. Their second 6-game winning streak of the year. And the Southwest Airlines starting lineup for Bob Melvin. Interim manager for the A's, again with the rookie Jemile Weeks leading off in second. De Jesus in right. Crisp, almost a hero last night, in center field and batting third. Willingham is in left. Sizemore in third. Chris Carter DHing. Suzuki again the catcher. Adam Rosales getting his first start of the year at first base. And Cliff Pennington out of Texas A&M batting ninth at shortstop against Matt Harrison.
It's been a nice first half of the season for Matt. I think he's proven that he can be a successful and consistent big league starter. 16 starts, about a .500 record, but a nice solid .328 ERA. Fewer hits than innings, pretty good walks to strikeouts. 6 or more innings pitched in 13 of his 16 starts. He's had 7 career games against Oakland. He's got a winning record. His ERA is 4.81. He's had a couple of starts against the A's this year. One was one of his back-to-back bad starts in the middle of his first half, and the other was a really good start that was cut short by rain. So now he's going to start for them for the 3rd time, and hopefully this will be a regular game and his kind of game.
The Ranger defense this afternoon has David Murphy at left, Hamilton in center, Cruz in right, with Beltre, Andrus, Kinsler, and Moreland in the infield. And Mike Napoli gets the start catching Harrison. Ron Washington talking about Harrison and what he's accomplished this year, says he's had the kind of season that he envisioned himself having. Everything he thought he could do, he is now seeing take place in the first half of this year. 98 degrees for our first pitch.
And I think that's one of the big differences in Matt, is with the added confidence, the work he did on the mental side of the game in the offseason. He envisioned this, and it happened. I think in the past he hoped for this, but I don't know if he really envisioned this until he got to spring training this year. And he's a stronger pitcher mentally. He's a stronger pitcher physically. And the hard work that he's done have given him nice results so far.
Well, that's what he read up on the offseason. A couple of books about pitching, about psychological strength as a pro athlete. Boss says biggest difference he sees, he has learned how to stop things from snowballing, innings that could get out of hand. He is learning how to shut those down.
Well, as Rich Billings once said to Ted Williams, just because you read a book on medicine doesn't make you a doctor. It's one thing to read those books, and he did that, but then the credit goes to him because he implemented what he learned. He envisioned this season, and then he went out and made it happen. So hats off to Matt and the job he's done so far.
3-2 pitch popped up out to short right, and Ian Kinsler is there for the game's first out.
Yeah, that statement didn't go over too big with Ted Williams either. Ted
not a big reader.
No, well, Ted had written a book on hitting, of course, and said to Rich Billings around the batting cage one time, when a certain question about hitting came up, "Haven't you read my book?" And to that he got Rich's reply, and I don't think Rich played for about a week after that. Ted was not real happy with him.
No, Ted, I haven't read it. That was the wrong answer, apparently.
No, it was just because, well, that was part of it. No, Ted, I haven't read it, and if I did, it wouldn't make me a good hitter because I could go read a book on medicine and I wouldn't be a doctor. That went over extremely well with the 5 or 6 of us around the batting cage, though, that heard it.
I can imagine.
He became our hero because none of us would have had the nerve to say that.
Here is DeJesus. Down the line left field. David Murphy watches it slice into the seats. DeJesus 1 for 7 with 3 strikeouts in the series. A's trying to avoid the 4-game sweep. They have been outscored 21-11 in the first 3 games here in Arlington. Last night, they managed 6 runs on just 7 hits, 4 of those coming in their 4-run second inning, and only 3 thereafter. No doubt a game they figured they had in control until Josh Hamilton got a chance to have his final say in the 9th inning.
Well, Matt's run the count to 3-1 with a couple of pretty good pitches, just maybe a little bit low.
3-1 pitch popped up to Murphy, almost in his tracks out in left. 2 outs in the first, and Coco Crisp, the center fielder, will bat next.
And as the afternoon goes on, the sun, which will set behind the bleachers, behind the upper deck down the first baseline, could become a factor. As it starts to set, there's a better chance that the balls that are hit to left field will go through the sun. We'll kind of monitor how David does out there.
It's a good first pitch curve for a strike to Crisp. 2 for 9 in the series. The second hit, his home run with 1 out in the 7th inning.
Good changeup.
0-2. Crisp last night putting the A's up 6-5, but it just set the stage and made the achievement by Josh all the more heroic. 1-2 to Crisp. If he reaches, Josh Willingham would be next.
Yeah, Crisp went up there thinking he was going to get a good fastball to hit early in the count. He's seen a curveball, he's seen a changeup, and he's seen a slider. And left-handed last night, he did hit a fastball from Tommy Hunter. That gave the A's the lead. Provided the 1-run lead that made Josh's home run so dramatic as the walk-off.
Crisp still in at 2-2. It dropped the A's to 39-52 and a season high 11 games behind the Rangers in last place in the AL West. And a strikeout by Matt Harrison to cap a 1-2-3 first inning. So nothing for the A's. Kinsler, Andrus, and Hamilton coming to bat. welcome Emily Jones.
Well, guys, nothing quite like the feeling of a walk-off home run to win one for your team. But for Josh Hamilton, considering the week that he had, last night's 435-foot bomb to right field was extra sweet.
Anytime you can help your team win, especially at the end of the game like that, after a hard-fought game, coming back and guys battling, is a pretty special feeling. And just to see those guys gathered at home plate and you know what's about to happen, they're about to mob you, there's no better feeling.
Josh Hamilton with this afternoon's Geico quote of the game, and it came 3 years to the day since his last walk-off home run. Josh, all smiles in the clubhouse today, and of course all smiles last night, and nice to see him smiling like that again, guys.
It sure is. And Ian Kinsler steps in, takes a strike from Trevor Cahill, trying to win his 9th game of the year. Lead-off base hit, and just like that, Ian Kinsler has hit in 9 straight games. Southwest Airlines Rangers starting lineup tonight. We'll now see Anderson, Hamilton, Beltre back at third, batting cleanup. Michael Young is the DH again. Cruz at right, Borland at first, Napoli and Murphy in the 8-9 spots. Trevor Cahill, a pitcher who has traditionally been very tough on the Rangers.
Yeah, he's had 19 starts. His first half of the first season has gone a little bit better than his second half of the first half of the season.
Feels the bunt laid down by Andrews. And a successful sacrifice by Elvis.
Overall, a nice season. 8-6, ERA 3.17. His first 8 games started, he was 6-0 with a 1.72 ERA. Spectacular. His last 11, losing record, but not a terrible ERA, just compared to the first 8 starts, it looks that way. He's beaten the Rangers 8 times. 8 times, that's his most over any team. And in those 8 games, he's pitched pretty well. His ERA is 2.18, 2 or fewer runs in 9 of the 11 starts. And the other thing is he's actually pitched better here against the Rangers than he has in Oakland. His ERA is 0.98 in 4 starts in this ballpark against the Rangers.
Well, 3 pitches into this game, he had Kinsler already in scoring position for Josh Hamilton. Josh said he did get some sleep last night, but had to sleep fast. Back in the clubhouse by 10:30.
Go ahead, Dave.
Ron Washington asked to put in perspective what Josh accomplished last night. Said he just saw a higher power sprinkling some greatness on him. Said last night was a magical night, and it took the play before that to set the stage, because Andrews should have ended the game with the ground ball that Weeks threw away to first base. But it was like it was all scripted.
Well, when the A's look back at that game, I don't think they'll look at as much at the home run Josh hit as they will, you're right, the play before that. They make the play before that, Josh never hits. And it's a play that should have been made.
Well, a rookie mistake. Maybe one he'll never make again. But now a part of Ranger lore. Cahill trying to finish off Hamilton here with the 1-2 pitch. And low with the breaking ball. It's 2-2. Trevor Cahill, a 2nd-round pick in 2006 out of Vista High School in San Diego, where he graduated 5th in a class of 650, just like you and me, probably.
I didn't quite
Maybe you.
I didn't quite get up to 6th. That's pretty impressive. He was obviously a highly recruited college player for college with those kind of grades. Probably could have gone anywhere he wanted to.
He committed to Dartmouth, actually. He was headed for the Ivy League. But baseball intervened. And Hamilton sends that one down the right field line, but into the seats.
An off-speed pitch, Josh. A little bit out in front of it, hit it off the end of the bat.
Our Ford leaderboard tonight. July, runs batted in. And it's Josh Hamilton and Hanley Ramirez of the Marlins. One better than Beltre and Cruz. Ranger-dominated picture this month.
Now, I guess when you look at the first part of July and you see the Rangers averaging almost 8.5 runs a game, someone's got to be driving them in. And you just saw 3 of the guys that have been driving them in.
And Hamilton calling time. Rangers trying for their second sweep of a 4-game series. They did it the first week of June. 4 games at Cleveland, which was the best team in baseball going into that series. And the count now full to Hamilton. In case you missed it last night, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Rangers down a run. And one of the longest home runs ever hit in this ballpark. Certainly one of, if not the most memorable in a regular season game, capping an unimaginable week. And now the 3-2 pitch on the way. That one is hit deep to center field, but Coco Crisp on the warning track has room for the second out.
Boy, he just got underneath that one enough to keep it in the ballpark. Good at bat. Josh has had so many good at bats because so many of his at bats have started off with him behind in the count early. And this was another at bat like that with 2 strikes. And his 2-strike approach has worked so well for him, allowing him to make contact with men on third base in less than 2 outs a number of times to get RBIs. And that time he ran the count to 3-2, got a good pitch to hit, and just got underneath it a little bit.
Kinsler able to take third, so he's there with 2 outs, and there's strike 1 to Adrian Beltre. Almost as hot as anybody else in baseball going into the break. He's homered in each of the last 2 games. His only hit Friday and last night. 400 on the homestand, 4 homers, 12 RBIs in the first 9 games, and a hot shot fielded by Scott Sizemore. So the Rangers leave Kinsler at third. And after 1 inning, in the final game of these 4 with the A's, 0-0. Jim Knox.
All right, thanks, Dave. Ranger fans looking for the sweep today against the A's. You bet. Let's get them going. Come on. Yeah. All right, community corner this afternoon. How about the Texas Rangers? For the last 13 summers, they've been hosting a group of children from the Lena Pope home, and they host them with a good summer program. They do a lot of tours like the museum, the zoo, Southwest Airlines, Box Sports Southwest. That's pretty cool. And, of course, here at the ballpark. And they do a summer program to get them ready for the upcoming school season. Garth Brooks Foundation is the one behind it. And find out more, log on to TexasRangers.com/foundation. Dave?
Yeah, Garth Brooks, long supporter programs like that involved with the major leagues. Behind that one as well. Ball and a strike to Josh Willingham. Clean up and left field today for the A's. One of the few hitters they have going well at the moment. Came off the DL for the second game of this series on Friday and is 5 for 12 since then. Last night, a homer, kicking off their 4-run second inning. Sizemore will be next, and then Chris Carter here in the second. And 2-2. Matt Harrison with a history of success against the A's, 3-1. Most of his success in 08, but I'm sure even at his best in 08 he was pitching as well as he has the last couple of months of this year. And that one, we'll see if Willingham got out of the way, or if Jeff Kellogg says it hit him. It didn't, so it's 3-2. Close though.
Yep, somehow that missed his foot. I don't know how it missed his foot. It looked like the ball actually, if he never moved, was almost behind his feet. Pretty good agility by the big guy.
Kellogg, the crew chief and home plate umpire today. And the 3-2 pitch got him swinging, and that's back-to-back swinging for strike 3. Crisp ending the first, and Willingham beginning the second.
Good stuff so far in the game for Matt Harrison, and it's all his pitches. That's the second straight strikeout. Crisp and Willingham, both of them on good changeups, down and away. He's thrown some good curveballs for strikes. Fastball's been well located. Even though he's thrown 12 strikes and 11 balls, he's been right around the plate, with exception maybe being that pitch to Willingham.
And strike 1 to Scott Sizemore. 0 for 4 last night. Homered his first time up on Friday. And the rest of the umpiring crew. DJ Rayburn is at first. Tim Timmons at second, and Eric Cooper at third. 2-1 to Sizemore. A's picked him up in late May to trade from the Tigers for pitcher David Percy. And his bat started to come around. And 2-2. The A's so far working the count a little better than they did toward the end and even in the middle of last night's game. At least 5 pitches to each of their first 5 hitters, and Sizemore strikes out looking, and that's 3 straight for Harrison.
Well, the prior 2 strikeouts were on changeups. This is a well-located 96-mile-an-hour fastball right at the top of the strike zone. Tough to pull the trigger on that one.
By the time where he saw it was too late, and the foul ball off the bat of Carter DHing today. Carter at first base last night. And 0 for 6 with 3 strikeouts so far in this series. And an 0-2 count. Going back even further, 0 for his last 13. Most of those strikeouts. But the Carter, part of what they hope will be the nucleus, if he goes on and has the career they envisioned for him. Broke in last year. Works the count now to 2 balls and 2 strikes. First base and DH. So it gives Connor Jackson some games off in the infield. And he works the count to 3-2 after falling behind 0-2. Just outside, and the A's have their first base runner as Carter somehow lays off of that, gets a 2-out walk.
Yeah, I think if Matt throws a strike on any one of the last 4 pitches, there's not much chance Carter was going to hit the ball. He struck out 13 out of 28 at bats.
Well, he keeps the inning alive for Suzuki. And Suzuki's batting average down to .224 on the year. He does have 7 homers, and he looks at strike 1. And Suzuki against Harrison, a limited sample, but he's done pretty well. 4 for 8, a home run. Keeping with a theme for him. He's a much better hitter against the tough pitching of the American League West than against everybody else he faces. In the division this year, he's hitting .310. Against everyone else, he's hitting .186. I don't know if that's rising to the occasion against some of the best staffs in the major leagues. Exactly what it is, but
probably has more to do. When you look at their schedule when they played those teams. No, not really. Division games have been pretty much evenly split with other teams in the league.
And Beltre charges, has no play to make though, and an infield hit, the first by the A's. They have now 2 on with 2 outs, and Adam Rosales will step up. As Harrison, for the second straight batter, gets ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. But then followed with the walk to Carter and a little dribbler. Not hit well enough to get out to Beltre in time for a throw.
No, Matt's throwing the ball really well. He's throwing hard. He's using his other pitches. The only problem he's got going is his pitch count, which is going to be 38 with this next pitch. And as well as he's throwing and as little as the A's have done, 38 pitches is a lot of pitches.
Well, here's Rosales at first base today for the first time this year, making his 10th start. He has been off the DL just a little over a month, and this is his 12th game back. He's 4 for 30, but 2 of those 4 hits left the yard. And a ball and a strike. Next pitch will be Matt's 40th. He's thrown 21 strikes now, 18 balls. Went to a 3-ball count to 4 of the first 6 hitters he faced. And this one directly to Andrews for the inning-ending force on Suzuki at second base. So little 2-out bobble. Harrison works around it, and we head to the bottom of the second, where it's Young, Cruz, and Moreland. It's 2 weeks from today, July 24th, 7:05 against the Blue Jays. You can get a shirt just like that, gentlemen. The first 10,000 kids, if you're 13 and under, will receive a blue Josh Hamilton jersey, compliments of Dr. Pepper and Albertsons. So get your tickets today at TexasRangers.com or by calling 972-RANGERS. Bottom of the second, it's Michael Young to be followed by Nelson Cruz and Mitch Moreland. And Michael, with a hit last night, the number 3 hitter in the American League at .326. Tom, one of a number of Rangers that probably can all say they have not played any better this year than they are right now going into the break.
Yeah, when you've scored over 8 runs a game over a 7 or 8 game period, it stands to reason you're going to have a lot of hot hitters. And so they've had different stages of the season where they've all been hot. But right now, I think there's probably more of them hot at the same time than any other time during the season.
A little bit outside, and at the time where the pitching has come around, the defense has come around. Only one error, that on catcher's interference in the last 6 games. Well, Michael is 6 points behind the number 2 hitter in the league, Jose Bautista, who is 20 points behind Adrian Gonzalez. But then after Michael, 9 points down to find Paul Konerko and Victor Martinez. And the throw just in time in front of the bag at second by Jemile Weeks to retire Michael Young, first out at the bottom of the second.
It looked like Rosales barely had his foot on the bag. I guess he did, though. No one's got a better look at it than DJ Rayburn did.
Barely on that corner.
It did. It looked like he could slide a piece of paper between the bag and his foot.
So Weeks handles the first play directed to him today. Much different ending than last night for him. And here's Nelson Cruz with 20 home runs, 55 runs batted in. And a hard grounder past Pennington, base hit to left field. The second Ranger hit off of Trevor Cahill.
Cahill's fastball generally is a really good sinker, but a sinker's not as effective when it's up in the strike zone like that, and it doesn't tend to sink quite as much. When the ball is going down a little bit more around the knees, you get more effective sinking action. You got that one up a little bit. Nelly hit it right on the button.
So 1 on, 1 out. Mitch Moreland, the batter. And Mitch responding well to the couple days off that Wash gave him early in the week. He has come back to go 5 for 13 in the 3 games he has played since being off Monday and Tuesday. And has been a strong hitter against the A's staff, what he's seen of them after coming up last year. .327. 3 homers in 12 games coming into today. But the Rangers have been hitting everybody. Double-digit hits in 7 straight games. And that one's a little bit high. Doing it especially here at home. And this pop-up coming down near the first base coaching box, and Rosales has out number 2.
That was a good pitch by Cahill. He's behind in the count. He assumes, and probably rightfully so, that Mitch will be looking for a fastball, so he throws him a changeup, and Mitch is a little bit out in front of it.
Rosales again getting his first start of the year at first base, and fighting a little bit of a sun factor there as well. And now Mike Napoli with Cruz still over at first and 2 outs. First pitch, ground ball. Sizemore makes the sliding grab and throws the strike to Rosales. And that ends the Rangers' second. 1 hit, 1 man left, nothing. Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Geico Insurance, where 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. And by Hyundai. People are talking about Hyundai. Uncensored. See what they're saying at Hyundai.com. With Pennington to lead off the third inning for the Oakland A's against Matt Harrison, who has allowed only a walk and an infield hit, along with 3 strikeouts in the first 2 innings. Pennington, then the top of the order, Weeks and DeJesus here in the third. Cliff Pennington 1 for 7 so far this series.
Dave, I want to say hi to a good friend, Coach Jim Price. Going through some health concerns right now. Coach Price, I hope you're watching, because everyone here with the Rangers is thinking about you.
2-0 pitch grounded right to Elvis Andrus.
Back in the 80s, a lot of the kids that helped form the nucleus of the really good basketball teams at Martin High School went through Young Junior High, where Jim was physical education coach as well as the basketball coach there, the 9th grade basketball coach. Much loved guy by all the kids that went through there, mine included.
I was going to say that would coincide with the Grieve family's history, Martin, right?
All my kids know him very well, and as well as all their friends and many more. Very much beloved guy from Young Junior High. And Coach Price, we're all thinking about you. Hope you're doing better. He also has a couple of rooms in his house devoted to Ranger memorabilia that rival the Hall of Fame, I think. He's got stuff pasted on his ceiling. He's got so much stuff.
Well, he's got good contacts.
He's got some good contacts. He's a guy that could wear a different hat, I think, for about 3 years with never wearing the same one.
Little pop up, and Murphy comes in to retire Weeks for the second out here in the third. David DeJesus now, who flied to Murphy his first time up. Rangers post All-Star break rotation now set. And it will be Derek Holland pitching the first game out of the break at Seattle on Thursday. And that's fairly remarkable, considering his status was very much in doubt before he threw that shutout in his last time out. First of this series. But it's Holland next Thursday, followed by Colby Lewis, C.J. Wilson. Matt Harrison will pitch again in the fourth game at Seattle a week from today. And then on Tuesday, first game of the series at Anaheim. That will be the next start for Alexi Ogando. So Harrison goes again a week from today. C.J. Wilson will stay on normal 4 days rest. Colby Lewis on Thursday in Anaheim gets an extra day.
That's some pitching right there.
3-pitch strikeout of DeJesus. That is his 4th through 3 innings. A 10-pitched third as Harrison mows him down 1-2-3. Faces of Freedom this season. Each month, a veteran is recognized with a special presentation and VIP treatment at a Rangers game. In November, each honoree and a guest will receive a trip to Washington, D.C. If you'd like to nominate a Face of Freedom, visit TexasRangers.com/freedom. And David Murphy leading off the Ranger third in his first start since Monday. 5 for 11, no, on this homestand, including a double, a triple. He's driven in 3 and scored 3. You've seen David Murphy's bat come alive, as basically everybody with the team knew and expected it would. And works the count to 2-2. Top of the order next, Kinsler and then Andrews. Rangers have singles in each of the first 2 innings. Ian leading off the game. Cruz with 1 out in the second. And a leadoff base hit out in front of Crisp in center by Murphy to begin the third.
You got so many options if you're Ron Washington. One thing that Ron has had all season long is a lot of depth and a good bench. And, you know, whether it's Endy Chavez playing today or Craig Gentry or David Murphy, whoever you want to put in the lineup, you've got confidence that they're going to come in and have a good game for you.
So here is Kinsler, who singled on the game's second pitch and got as far as third base in the first inning. Sacrificed to second by Andrews, took third on the deep fly to center by Hamilton. And then Beltre grounding to third, and that threat.
One thing I guess to keep in mind with Cahill, he's allowed 19 stolen bases. That's the most stolen bases allowed in the American League. See if the Rangers try to take advantage of that.
You think that's just because he hasn't really developed his move, or does he concentrate so much more on the hitters?
I think generally it's because they take a long time getting the ball to the plate. They haven't developed any kind of a slide step or the ability to vary their delivery to the plate. Usually a pitcher that's easy to run on has an average move to first base and maybe a high leg kick, and takes that extra few tenths of a second to get the ball to home plate, which gives the runner maybe an extra step or 2.
Well, Ian trying to lay down a bunt here.
And the umpire emphatically came out and said when the ball hit him, he was still in the batter's box. Good idea for Ian right there. At the very least, you're going to get a sacrifice bunt if you get the ball down. Sizemore was in back of the bag, so if it's a good bunt, you have a great chance to get a base hit, have men on first and second with nobody out.
Sizemore again playing back at third. Ground ball right at Pennington. And a 6-4-3 double play.
Well hit ball right straight at Pennington, and that's one thing I guess you would expect when Cahill's pitching, that you have a chance to see ground balls when he keeps the ball down, because sinker ball pitchers generally get more ground balls, and that was a good ground ball pitch. Down around the knees, sinking. He got the ball he was looking for.
So bases clear, 2 out. And here is Elvis Andrews. Sacrifice bunt his first time up. Mariners and the Angels already underway at Angel Stadium, and Seattle has a 2-run first inning in progress against Dan Herron. That's Felix says at 8-7 for Seattle, and Dan Herron 9-5, trying to get to the All-Star break with double-digit victories.
And Herron would have been another pretty much guaranteed choice for the All-Star team to replace somebody if he wasn't pitching today.
Rangers lead again today, 1 game over LA. Solid shot past to diving Sizemore. And deep enough into the left field corner for Andrews to get himself a double.
The Rangers have 4 hits in 3 innings, but they've also hit some other balls on the good part of the bat, including Kinsler's double play ball. There's a pitch up inside part of the plate. So they don't don't have much to show for it early in the game, but they've hit the ball pretty well against Cahill.
A couple of base hits past diving left side infielders, and Elvis Andrus safe at second, safe and secure in New York life. Josh Hamilton now, who sent Crisp to the warning track in straightaway center field for the second out of the first inning. As we said, Josh showed up, one of the first Rangers in the clubhouse, 10:30 this morning. Put in the eye drops, dealing with the day game challenges, which have been well documented this year. After coming up with the walk-off two-run home run at his final at-bat last night, and the first home run allowed all year by Andrew Bailey. So many different angles made that such an amazing occurrence right to the end of the game last night. First time the Rangers won a game when trailing with 2 outs in the 9th inning since June 15th last year at Florida. That was Matt Trainor's 2-run triple. First win of the year for the Rangers this year, trailing after 8 innings, and their 3rd walk-off win. All on one swing of the bat. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A lot of changeups to Josh in this at bat. First base is open. In the last at bat, the first base was open as well, and Cahill hung an off-speed pitch, and Josh almost hit it out of the ballpark to center field, right to the warning track. Just got underneath it a little bit, and I think the way the wind is blowing, it didn't do that ball any favors either.
This one back out of play. Yeah, the wind is a little more severe angle coming in from right field. Not so much right center today. Almost seems to be coming straight across right to left. Flags again at half-mast, honoring the memory of Shannon Stone, as they will remain all the way through the funeral for the Brownwood firefighter. You can contribute to the Shannon Stone Memorial Fund, as everyone did today who showed up in the ballpark, with Texas Dairy Queen playing a big part of that. And Jim Knox will be speaking with a representative from Texas Dairy Queen a little bit later on. Well, Beltre comes back to strike out Hamilton to end the 3rd inning, which he allowed 2 hits, including the Elvis double, but we're still 0-0.
A's, and we were Terry Giles, the Texas Dairy Queen, and I tell you what, every ticket bought today, Dairy Queen is donating $1 to the Shannon Stewart Memorial Fund. That is a great gesture by Dairy Queen.
Well, Jim, we've all been so saddened by the tragedy, and with our involvement out here today with the bat day and all that, we thought, you know, we really should try to do something. So this from the Texas Dairy Queen operators all across Texas, and as you know, there's a Dairy Queen in almost every small town. In a situation like this, you know, you need family and friends to pull together, and so we just, with heavy hearts, we, you know, just chose to do this. So we're, you know, in prayers for the family, of course. So.
Right. Well, we appreciate that, and for those who want to continue to help out Shannon Stone, you can log on to TexasRangers.com/fund. Help out Shannon Stone Memorial Fund. Appreciate it. Thank you very much, Terry. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, that's just a great thing that those folks are doing. Definitely deserves our support. Ground ball to third on an 0-2 pitch to Coco Crisp. Harrison gets the first out of the fourth inning. Crisp 0 for 2, struck out to end the first inning. One of 3 straight strikeouts through Willingham and Sizemore in the second, and 4 from that through 3. So here is Willingham, who worked the count full before going down swinging, leading off the second. And Harrison coming off a no decision on Tuesday against the Orioles in a game the Rangers won 4-2. 6 innings, gave up a season high 11 hits, but really scattered them well. Only 2 runs allowed. Didn't walk a batter. That helped. Struck out 5. Only hits that really hurt him were home runs by J.J. Hardy and Matt Wieters. 2 balls and a strike. In a moment, we're going to give you the information on how you can contribute to the Shannon Stone Memorial Fund, which Jim Knox just discussed. Base hit to right field. Only the second so far today by the A's. Willingham aboard with 1 out. And here it is. You can contribute at the Rangers Foundation kiosk at the ballpark, at any Metroplex, Plains Capital Bank, or online at TexasRangers.com/fund. So a number of ways in which you can chip in to what hopefully will be a great living memory to a great Ranger fan. Here is Scott Sizemore, also struck out his first time up, looking at strike 3. That one just missing outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, after tonight, the Rangers will become fans of the A's after the All-Star break as they go home for a 4-game series against the Angels, who for the 4th straight day are just 1 game behind the Rangers in the West. 2-0 pitch is foul back. The Yankees yesterday with a memorable historic game. The 5-for-5 performance by Derek Jeter. Game-winning hit. His 3,003rd. And today they shut out Tampa Bay 1-0. CC Sabathia's 13th win against 4 losses going into the break, and a battle of 4 hitters with James Shields. The 2 pitchers were used today and thus opened the door for Alexi Ogando to make the All-Star team as the 5th Ranger. Cruz back just a couple of steps, out and right, and he's got that for the 2nd out. So Sizemore 0 for 2, and here's Chris Carter, who fell behind 0-2 his first time up and then worked a walk.
Yeah, Carter had only walked once. Hadn't been up that much, though. He's only been up 28 times. Official at bats. Keep that average pitch count down with a quick out right here. Because all the bullpen is available today. You got the All-Star break. Plenty of times to rest. So pitch count, bullpen, not an issue today.
Ball 1 to Carter. Another gem already completed today. Washington shut out Colorado 2-0. Adrian Beltre comes in a couple of steps to retire Carter. And in the Oakland fourth, one hit, one man left, and we're still scoreless.
No scores. We head to the bottom of the fourth, and you guys talked about it in the pregame show, the fact that momentum can be a strange thing headed into the All-Star break, and Michael Young agrees.
You weren't playing well, you'd say no big deal, and if you are playing well, you say we can use the momentum. So I mean, if we can find a way to win a ball game today, hopefully we can take that into the second half. But either way, I think we're a confident club heading out of the break, and we're looking forward to starting 7 games on the road and generating some momentum.
And, of course, last year this team went in on a 4-game losing streak, having been swept by the Baltimore Orioles. Hopefully this year they'll hit in on a 7-game win streak.
Well, a shot right back to Cahill. Knocks it down and then recovers to make the play on Beltre for the first out here in the fourth, bringing up Michael Young.
Looked like it hit him in the right hand. Trainer's going to come out and check it out. Maybe it hit him in the glove hand. Then he says he's okay. It looked like it hit off the heel of his glove. Shouldn't be a problem. Hard hit ball by Beltre, though. It's another example of some pretty good at bats for a team that hasn't scored a run yet. They've had some pretty good at bats, hit some hard ground balls. Most of the base hits have been hit pretty well too.
Rangers out hitting the A's 4-2 today. 3 singles and a double, only bunching 2 together in the third. Michael Young grounded to second his first time up. So we're scoreless into the bottom of the fourth here. And it's already a big pitching day around Major League Baseball. Detroit at Kansas City. The Royals batting in the bottom of the 7th. Tigers leading 2-0. A 4-hitter in progress for Justin Verlander. And that Tampa Bay Yankee game at the new Yankee Stadium. This has got to be the fastest game ever played there so far. They finished that game in 2 hours and 11 minutes. That doesn't even get you into a normal 6th inning at that ballpark against that club.
Yeah, I'd say their average time in that ballpark is probably over 3 hours, 3 hours and 5 or 10 minutes.
Ground ball right at Sizemore, third. And 2 gone in the Ranger fourth. Time for this afternoon's AT trivia question. The only 3 Rangers to be named All-Star Game MVP. Might not have known that 3 Rangers have won that award. And you can probably guess who one of them is. Nelson Cruz, a swing and a miss. He singled his first time up, ending an 0 for 14. Nelson not necessarily getting a lot of hits, but he is making the most of those that he has gotten on this homestand. 12 RBIs in the first 9 games.
I had one game where he knocked in 6, so that takes care of half of them.
Yeah, did that on 2 at bats. 3-run homer, bases loaded triple. Cahill just wide there, 2 balls and a strike. Not behind many hitters today. 32 strikes against 19 balls. And drops in the curve, 2-2.
Well, St. Louis and Milwaukee are in close games right now. Pittsburgh is going to win. If the other teams lose, Pittsburgh will go into the All-Star break tied for first place.
How about that?
That's pretty remarkable. What a comeback for Clint Hurdle in his game. They've got some, they've got some pretty good young players, and they've been there now for a few years, so it stands to reason that they will start to show improvement and start to get better. But I have to think the catalyst for it all has been Clint Hurdle and what he's brought to that whole overall program.
I'll tell you what, anybody that was around him last year can't be all that surprised at the impact he's had on that Pittsburgh team. He did the same as batting coach here. Shallow left center field, long run, but Willingham gets there. And that completes a 1-2-3 4th inning for Cahill and the A's. On to the 5th, still scoreless. Four innings, and he went right to work in the first, striking out Crispa into 1-2-3. Willingham and Sizemore 3 straight strikeouts through his first 5 outs, and De Jesus to end the 3rd inning. So 64 pitches through 4, and only 3 base runners. with a walk to Carter with 2 outs in the second, an infield hit by Suzuki, and the single by Willingham with 1 out in the fourth, and that is the sum total of the Oakland offense today.
You know, the funny thing is Matt Harrison had almost the exact same 4 innings in the rainout. He'd had 4 innings, 66 pitches, 1 hit, no runs. That's 2 hits today, almost the same amount of pitches, 66 pitches now.
Here's a 67th, and it's a weak roller out to Andrews.
I'm going to make a bold prediction. This game's not going to get rained out.
And let's answer our AT&T trivia question. The only 3 Rangers to be named All-Star Game MVP. Michael Young, 06, with that memorable triple. Alfonso Soriano, 2004, and Julio Franco at Wrigley Field, 1990.
Wow, I had that wrong. I had Hank Blaylock. Guess not.
He definitely had a huge hit.
Yeah.
Strike one to Adam Rosales as we are joined by Steve Busby on a big day for pitching, both in this day and around Major League Baseball. There's some masterpieces.
Yeah, there are a lot of zeros up on the out-of-town scoreboard out there, and a lot of zeros here too. This has been fun to watch. You see Harrison struggle a little bit in the early going and find a way to right the ship. And that's what the maturing process for Matt Harrison's been all about.
Fly ball here. Cruz drifts toward the line. 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Yeah, just talk about the growth that you have seen from, say, the end of last year to the midpoint in this year for Matt Harrison.
Well, I think you could say, it may be a trite phrase, but I think Matt is figuring it out for himself. And what I mean by that is that Matt is learning what he has to do as an individual to use his abilities to the fullest way in any ball game, no matter what he takes out there with him. He's starting to adjust to what he has. It helps when you have veteran catchers, Napoli and Torrealba, to kind of guide you through that transition. But Matt has to learn what kinds of things have to go on with inside of him, between the ears mostly, to compensate for maybe not a good fastball one day, or like today where he's having a little trouble at times with command of the fastball. So he goes back to a changeup or throws something a little bit different to get back in the strike zone.
2-0 pitch here, but Pennington sends a ground ball to Elvis. And a 1-2-3-9 pitch, top of the 5th, turned in by Matt Harrison. We remain 0-0. Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Chevy. Check out ChevyYouthBaseball.com/Rangers to win Ranger tickets and a trip to the 2011 World Series. And by AT Rethink Possible. Bottom of the fifth, nothing in the bottom third of the order for the Rangers in Moreland, Napoli, and Murphy. Trevor Cahill, 54 pitches, 4 base hits, all in the first 3 innings. And Mitch Moreland fouled out first baseman Rosales his first time up. And we're with Steve Busby in this last game before the All-Star break. And Buzz, when you made those 2 American League All-Star teams, I don't recall anybody not being available for the game Tuesday, depending on when they pitched last going into that break. That's a recent occurrence, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, David. I don't remember exactly when it was. Tom was talking about, possibly when that tie game occurred and there was such a big uproar over it. But to me, it's kind of ludicrous to say, okay, this game all of a sudden counts for home field advantage in the World Series, and then have edicts like that where you don't get the best players.
And strike 3 to Moreland.
Yeah, I think the edict should come about 3 weeks or a month before the All-Star game, where each team is alerted to one of their pitchers who can't pitch on Sunday. And if he does, they're fined $500,000. And if you want the game to count as an important game, then you have to treat it that way. And you can't have managers saying the regular season, when my pitchers pitch is my priority, and we don't care about the All-Star game, because that's essentially what they're saying today in New York. Yep. Shields and Sabathia pitched.
Here are the inactive pitchers just for the American League, named to the club but won't take part. David Price, Mariano Rivera, CC Sabathia, James Shields, Justin Verlander.
And some of those guys are hurt, and some of them are pitching today. Verlander and Sabathia and Shields all pitched today.
Only one on the National League roster, Cole Hamels, listed as inactive.
I don't think Chipper Jones is playing.
Well, one pitcher.
Oh, pitchers.
Yeah, Chipper Jones also, and Shane Victorino.
Polanco.
Jose Reyes. Ryan Braun. But there's a big imbalance in the pitching staff as to who is available. Sharp one hopper at 1-2 off the bat of Napoli. Pennington throws him out.
I think the other thing, Buzz, and if you go back far enough, the other reason you probably didn't worry too much about when a guy pitched was if you had 12 or 13 pitchers on your all-star team, you only needed 4 or 5 because the starter was pitching 2 or 3 innings. The guys weren't just going 1 inning and out of there. I don't know what the numbers were, but you might only have 3 or 4 pitchers pitching in an all-star.
No, you're
game.
right. You're right. The first time I went, I think there were 10 pitchers on the all-star team in '74. I think it was the same in '75 also, but only 5 guys pitched. And Gaylord Perry went out and threw 3 innings, probably as hard as I've ever seen Gaylord Perry throw at that time. And that was just accepted. That was the way it was.
Yep.
What was it like being around the other All-Stars first time you made that?
Tremendous experience. And for a guy, I was 24 at the time, and that amazing. I mean, it's like walking into a Hall of Fame and having the lifelike mannequins, come to life for you.
And there you up, up with all the rest of them.
Yeah.
Another ground ball on the left side, and Pennington records the last 2 outs of the 1-2-3 fifth inning. I could talk All-Stars all day with you, Buzz.
Sure.
You got another job, I guess.
Yeah.
Here, it is still 0-0 through 5.
Express rolled into the ballpark in Arlington, and Dave and Tom, you'll never guess who was on hand. Just about half the town of Lubbock, actually about 50 plus on hand. Jonathan, one of the many passengers on hand. How was that big bus ride, Jonathan?
It was 6 hours, felt like 15 minutes. We got to see our USA women beat Brazil, and now we're here to see our Texas Rangers have a sweep of the Oakland A's.
There we go. All right, they were singing Raider Power all the way. Now let's get the Let's Go Rangers going. Let's go.
Let's go
There we
Rangers!
go.
Let's go Rangers!
Fox Sports Southwest, check a town. It's coming near you guys.
Let's go Rangers!
Yeah, I know a lot of Ranger fans out in Lubbock in West Texas. Good to see them make it to the ballpark. Jemile Weeks 0 for 2. He's popped a second fly to left and 1 and 2 here. Matt Harrison has retired 5 straight and 10 of the last 11 Oakland hitters. All except for a Willingham single back in the 4th. The second of only 2 hits Matt has allowed. The other an infield hit in the second by Kurt Suzuki, and 1 walk. That was Carter in the second. So Matt Harrison, through the first 5 innings, pitching one of the best starts we have seen from him.
Yeah, I haven't seen him shake off a sign from Mike Napoli, and I think Mike Napoli's done a great job of encouraging Matt to use all his pitches, including a changeup right there. 3 of the 5 strikeouts have come with his changeup. He threw him all his pitches then. 94-mile-an-hour fastball, a good curveball that he fouled off, and then a almost perfectly located changeup down and away. Number 1, it fooled Weeks, and number 2, it was in a location where he couldn't foul it off, having been fooled.
Mike Napoli says that one reason that his catcher's ERA, we have some discussions, how much do you credit the catcher, how much of that is just who's starting that day, who you're playing, but Napoli says really his philosophy behind the plate is pretty much just take the game plan as formulated by Mike Maddox and in conjunction with that day's starting pitcher, and just try and stick with it, be as encouraging as possible when he's out on the mound for the conferences. There haven't been any necessary today. But the result of that approach by Mike has been the tremendous success his first half of his first year as a Ranger. Right field, and that's in there for a base hit. The third by Oakland. And Jesus is aboard after flying out and striking out in his first 2 trips.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would also wonder if having been a catcher for a number of years with Mike Scioscia wasn't a great way to learn the ins and outs of not only calling a game, but the intricacies of catching at the big league level. You have to think that being with Mike Scioscia was a big benefit to him.
Yeah, he says that was a pretty tough school because having been an excellent catcher, Mike Scioscia is obviously going to have very high standards for anybody who plays that position for him, and that was the case for Mike in Anaheim.
It may be a tough guy to catch for, but when it's all over and done with, I bet you learn a lot about it.
He obviously has. Catching another gem here so far. Off the glove of Matt Harrison, and no play at either base. Either if Harrison comes down with that or he doesn't, and it's fielded probably right on top of the bag by Elvis, that's a chance for an inning-ending double play here. He's just get a great break.
Yeah, that should have been a double play. Number 1, Matt could have caught the ball. Again, it's not easy to catch a one-hopper when you're that close to the hitter, and you're not anticipating the ball, you're concentrating on the pitch, and bang, here comes the ball. You reach up and make a stab at it. But had he caught the ball and made a good throw, it was a double play. And you're right, if he didn't touch the ball, one of the infielders would have caught it, stepped on second, and turned it into a double play.
It is being scored at E1, error on Harrison. Steve Weller, our official score today. Dan Shembeck, I should say, the official score.
Yeah, Steve was scheduled to be the scorer. Dan took his place today. Yeah, that's a tough error. Yeah, I don't think you can give a pitcher an error on that ball, personally. there's also not a pitcher alive that wouldn't want an error on a ball like that, because it may keep the runs from being earned.
Oh, yeah, they'd all say, give me the error.
Boy, I should have had that ball. Give me that error.
Well, Matt Harrison's earned run average has been steadily sinking. It's down almost a full run per game over his last 8 starts, down to 328.
Yeah, the person that'll complain about that would be the A's and Coco Crisp, who hit the ball and is 0 for 1 instead of 1 for 1 on that ball.
And there was strike 2 to Willingham. Harrison was at 328 beginning the game. He has dropped it to 311 with 5 1/3 shutout innings. And that is down there with some of the very best earned run averages in the American League now. Just outside of the top 10, in fact. Eric Bedard of Seattle is number 10 in the league with an ERA at exactly 3. Number 9 is Alexio Gondo at 292. And that is a star-studded list in the American League this year.
Yes,
Ball strike 3. Willingham strikes out for the second time. 2 outs, both on strikeouts here in the 6th.
Good fastball, well located, right in on the fists. You can see Napoli shift inside. The ball's right in his glove. Napoli gives him a little nice going. Good job. And there's the pitch, number 4, right on the corner.
So now up to Scott Sizemore to try and take advantage of only the second time this afternoon that the A's have had 2 men on. The other time was in the 2nd inning, but after 2 outs, Carter walked, Suzuki the infield hit, and Rosales ended it with a fielder's choice ground ball. Tuesday, don't miss the world premiere preview of the X Factor. Simon Cowell is back with television's next big event, and you can only catch it during the All-Star game Tuesday, only on Fox. Ground ball, weakly hit to Ian Kinsler.
Another changeup.
So a hit on E1, but Harrison keeps it scoreless, headed to the bottom of the 6th inning. And Ian Kinsler will lead things off. By Sonic, today's jackpot is worth a record $3,500 in dinner for 2 at a Sonic Drive-In. And today the Rangers are hitting for Jim Daniel from Flower Mound. If the Ranger hits a grand slam during this inning, Jim Daniel from Flower Mound will win $25,000, and you can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. So, Tom, for the 2nd straight day, we are in uncharted Sonic Slam territory.
Yes,
the previous record was 3,300.
I'm on the edge of my seat because I'm just counting on someone to do that. And I'll definitely make my call this inning because I want to be the one that signals it's going to happen.
Okay, who's going to do it? You got Kinsler, Andrus, and Hamilton.
I think I'm going to go with Ian right now since I'm thinking about it.
All right, well, he'll work from ahead in the count here.
Rangers have at least 6 hitters in their lineup with as many home runs or more than any A. So there's a lot of guys that have a shot at it. And then they have Michael Young with 8. David Murphy only has 4, but he could certainly hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Well, the 3 batters that we know will hit here in the 6th inning have a combined total of 27 home runs. Kinsler 13, Elvis 3, Hamilton 11. But Cahill will take care of the first out here in the 6th. Trevor Cahill's given up 10 home runs in his first 19 starts, 119 innings.
Cahill's really throwing the ball well today. He's coming into the game, he'd walked 49 batters. That's the 5th most walks in the American League. Sometimes he has a little problem harnessing that sinker, but he hasn't walked anybody today. And he's had a good changeup, thrown some curveballs, but mostly with Cahill, you have to hit his sinker.
Well, he has retired 8 straight since the Elvis Andrus double in the 3rd inning. That followed a leadoff hit by Murphy, but a double play grounder, 6-4-3 for Kinsler. And then he struck out Hamilton with Elvis at second. 8 straight since then, beginning with that strikeout. And that is a fair ball right on the line, fielded by Sizemore. And Elvis a little surprised at the call over there at first by DJ Rayburn.
I think Elvis, when he hit the ball, thought it was going to be a foul ball. And usually when a ball's right on the line like that with a little bit of spin on it, it does go foul, but it looked like Sizemore fielded that inside the foul line. And got the tag from Rosales at first base.
But was the tag in time now?
Let's take a look. Definitely a fair ball. Great camera shot. Now let's see if the tag comes in time.
Ball one there to Hamilton, who was 0 for 2. He's flied to center and struck out. Two balls and no strikes. Now here is the tag by Rosales. Well, if he got him, Elvis right on top of the bag. Bang, bang.
It looked like he got him a foot before he got to the bag, 6 inches before he got to the bag. I thought he was out. DJ Rayburn is the first base umpire. He doesn't have quite the same benefit that we do of that slow motion replay.
Best angle right here. And he got the call right. Yep.
Good call by DJ at first base.
Good work down at our truck as well. And there's a walk to Josh Hamilton. First walk today for Cahill.
And that was a walk, obviously not an intentional walk, but Josh was going to have to swing at a bad pitch if he wanted a chance to get a hit in that at bat. Just looked like Cahill, and rightfully so. Cahill said to himself, with 2 outs and nobody on, in this kind of a game, I can't let Hamilton be the one that gets the big hit against me. That doesn't mean Beltre's not going to come up and get it right now, but he didn't want Hamilton to be the guy, and you can't blame him.
So Josh, just the 5th Ranger base runner this afternoon. Beltre 2 ground outs to third and back to the mound. Drives that one deep into the gap, left center field. It is gone. 2-run shot by Adrian Beltre, and the Rangers take the lead. And we have a winner. in the longest Sonic Slam inning drought in history. Jim Daniel from Flower Mound, congratulations. That shot by Adrian Beltre, worth a cool $3,500.
Well, he got a good pitch to hit, and I'm happy for the Rangers. I'm happy for Adrian, but I'm really happy that the Sonic Slam inning, the record number, came to an end.
Hopefully, Mr. Daniel watching there as the next pitch, ground ball to third by Michael Young, ends the 6th inning.
Not many pitches in the center of the plate from Cahill today, but that one he paid for.
Well, the stage was set. Tom Grieve called it, and Adrian Beltre hit it, and the Rangers lead it 2-0. West is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Well, Matt Harrison takes the lead for the 7th inning with a 2-0 advantage, and Carter, Suzuki, and Rosales, their 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Adrian Beltre providing the big swing this afternoon. Tom, you still get credit for calling that home run in my book because you said it would happen this inning.
All right, I won't take official credit because I called Ian, but I'll take credit in your book because it was at least the Sonic inning. I'm happy for our winner. What was this person's name? Who won that?
Jim Daniel from Flower Mound.
All right, congratulations.
3 balls and a strike to Carter. Jim Daniels good fortune in the fact that that jackpot just kept growing and growing and growing. That's the first home run in a Rangers 6th inning. Now 35 games. All the home runs this club had hit, but none in that particular role. And Carter strikes out on a 3-2 pitch. Strikeout number 7 for Matt Harrison. And let's go to our Fox Sports Southwest studios for a McDonald's Dollar Drink game break. And here's Tim Matthews. All right, Tim, and here is Kurt Suzuki, who got the first Oakland hit, a 2-out infield single in the second. That was quite a matchup. King Felix against Dan Herron. Center field for Josh Hamilton, drifting back in front of the track. Suzuki out number 2 here in the 7th. And the Rangers' fifth and final All-Star, as named earlier today, Alexi Ogando. Getting some throwing into the bullpen. Ogando named to replace James Shields, who pitched today, who was named to replace CC Sabathia, who pitched against Shields today, and beat Shields and the Rays 1-0, a matching 4 hitters. Matt Harrison has a 3-hitter working through 6 2/3. Rosales is 0 for 2, a fielder's choice to end the second, and last time up he flied out to Cruz in right. And a little dribbler here. Harrison's throw off the mitt of Mitch Moreland, and the A's have a base runner with 2 outs in the 7th.
I'm sure that'll go as a base hit. Matt's had a couple of plays that he could have made. This is one of them. If he makes a good throw, he's certainly got Rosales at first base. The other was the potential one hopper back to him on the double play ball.
That is the E1 on Harrison. And there's now been a scoring change on the other E1 that had been charged to Harrison. That was in the last inning. Coco Crisp sent one that was off of Matt's glove, and then Elvis Andrus had no play on it. That is now being scored as an infield hit.
Yeah, I think that's a good call by Dan Chimick. I thought that was a base hit.
Ball with a strike now to Pennington.
You can make a case for Rosales' ball being a base hit too. That's that's just an opinion of the scorekeeper. Was it an average play or was it a really tough play? He's charging full speed, turned as fast as he could and made a bad throw. Good throw, he would be out. That's just a judgment call by the scorekeeper. I would not want to be a scorekeeper. He can have a perfect game and nobody knows it. And all you have to do is make a mistake. I think it's just like being an umpire, really.
Yeah, you're an umpire with air conditioning.
Best thing you can say is, no one noticed me today. That means I had a good day. But if you do make one that's controversial, everybody notices. And on those kind of plays, someone's going to disagree with you. The hitter's going to think, and the A's are probably going to think, that Rosales should have a hit. Some of the Rangers might think that too.
Well, Ray Fosse ran in here between innings. He sure thought it should have been a hit.
Yeah, Ray thought that Crisp should have been hit. But one thing that the scorekeeper does do is, if it's close like that, he'll talk to other people up there. He'll listen to a representative, usually PR director from each team, to get their opinion. He might even look at it 2 or 3 times. He might even talk to some other people up there. Occasionally they might come down and talk to veteran baseball people to get their opinion. So they're trying to get him right. They're not trying to be a dictator. They're not trying to say it's my way or the highway. He wants to get it right. And I think Crisp is a perfect example of that. He thought that that should have been an error, but he talked to some other people and they convinced him that it should have been a hit, so he changed it. Kind of like the umpires getting together to maybe reverse a call.
So
they want to be right.
It's officially a 4-hitter. And the Oakland line now, no runs, 4 hits, no errors, 5 left. The Rangers 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, not 2 on Harrison, and they have left 3. And this crowd, good Sunday afternoon matinee crowd, now getting behind Matt Harrison as he prepares to throw pitch number 108 to get the last out of the 7th. Right field line, Kinsler and Cruz, and Nelson Cruz gets there as Cliff Pennington fouls out for the last out of the 7th inning. And at stretch time now here at Rangers Ballpark at Arlington, Chuck Morgan and God Bless America.
As we pause to honor the men and women of our armed services, both at home and around the world. Today we invite you to join in singing God Bless America with Bridget Hammers.
God bless America, land that I love, stand beside wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Our break is against the Toronto Blue Jays, including a 7:05 matchup on Saturday, July 23rd. And after that game, your Rangers ticket will provide access to great live music. The old 97s will play on the North Lawn. So call 972-RANGERS for tickets or visit TexasRangers.com. Again, Saturday the 23rd, 7:05 start against the Blue Jays, followed by the old 97s.
Now, Dave, you're a huge music aficionado. Are you a big fan of that group?
I've heard limited doses of them, but yes, I think they're fantastic. Dallas band, absolutely. Worth sticking around for at the cost of a ticket stub, absolutely.
Absolutely.
2-1 here to Cruz. Cahill about to throw his 85th pitch, and Matt Harrison at 108 officially through his first 7. And the Rangers now with Mark Lowe warming in the bullpen with a pitch count that probably indicates Harrison is done for the day, with 7 4-hit shutout innings.
Yeah, nice outing for Matt. Hot day. Right before the All-Star break, trying to keep that winning streak alive. Matt did his part. Good solid performance. Good stuff today. All his pitches were working. Good combination of pitches.
Cruz looks at a called strike 3 and a comebacker that just did get to the back door there. Well, Tuesday, baseball's biggest stars going head to head in the summer's biggest event, as Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2011 MLB All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday live from Chase Field in Phoenix at 7 o'clock only on Fox. You can watch what will now be a 5-Ranger All-Star contingent with the addition of today of Alexio Gondo and of course Ron Washington taking his staff there, managing the American League. Mitch Moreland 0 for 2. He's fouled out to Rosales at first and struck out. Cahill with only 3 strikeouts today, including getting Cruz for the first out here in the bottom of the 7th. And now up on Mitch 0-2.
Yeah, I think the same thing you would say about Matt Harrison, you could say about Trevor Cahill today. He's pitched a fine game, too. He just threw a high sinker that didn't do much at the wrong time to the wrong guy, and Beltre hit the 2-run homer. He was being careful to Hamilton before that. You can't blame him for that. That turned out to be his only walk. But he's mixed his pitches well. He's had off-speed pitches, changeups, curveballs. That one got Suzuki on the inside of the right ankle. And he's had a good sinker for the most part.
Yeah, this is going to get looked at by the A's trainer. Here's what happened to him. It looked like a right heel or ankle.
And you can see that the protection with those shin guards comes around the ankle, but I'm sure that hit part of that and missed part of that. And even with that, when you get hit directly by that kind of a ball, you're gonna be in pain anyway.
Which Kurt Suzuki definitely appears to be in. He is a hard-working catcher. In there pretty much day in, day out for Oakland, as much as any catcher is with any club. Chance to remind you that Chevy is a proud sponsor of youth baseball leagues in your community. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy youth baseball programs, go to youthsportswired.com. Some of the young fans who took their positions alongside the Rangers before this game. So while they continue to tend to Kurt Suzuki, the Angels have tied their game with Seattle with 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th. That's now 2-2. Mark Trumbo home run for the Angels in there, his 17th of the year. Dan Herron has allowed only 3 hits and a 2-run first put up by Seattle, and Felix Hernandez trying to get through that bottom of the 4th.
That's Landon Powell we showed throwing. He's the backup catcher, getting ready in case he gets the call. Suzuki's going to try to give it a go, though.
Well, Suzuki, one of the tougher catchers, you'd have to say, in the majors, so no one would doubt his decision if he decided to take the rest of this afternoon off. He got the next 3 days off after all, but he's hanging in there waiting for the 0-2 pitch to Mitch Moreland, which is grounded foul. So out west, Mariners 2, Angels 2, and the Rangers, after the All-Star break, will open up on the road at Seattle, a 4-game series beginning Thursday night. That's a 9 p.m. telecast on Fox Sports Southwest. Rangers actually get not quite the 3 full days of the break with a late afternoon flight on Wednesday to the Great Northwest. And Cahill off the mound to retire Mitch Moreland for the second out in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Familiar feeling for an Oakland starting pitcher. Pitch extremely well with little to no offensive support. So far today, literally none. And the difference in the game, Adrian Beltre's 2-out, 2-run home run in the 6th. Napoli's grounded out twice to third and short. And that home run by Mark Trumbo of the Angels, his 17th and his 3rd in as many games in that Seattle series.
They may have developed a pretty good middle of the order power hitting first baseman. Sure, just missed it.
High, not that deep. Willingham squeezes the 3rd out of the 1-2-3 7th inning for Trevor Cahill. And the A's down to their last 6 outs. Otherwise, it's a 4-game Ranger sweep. Southwest is brought to you by Hyundai. People are talking about Hyundai uncensored. See what they're saying at Hyundai.com. Dave Barnett, Tom Grieven, 33,834 on a scorching Sunday afternoon, watching so far a 4-hit shutout by Matt Harrison, and his first pitch here in the 8th inning, a base hit to left by Weeks, who was 0 for his first 3. Harrison coming out at 109 pitches now as he prepares to face DeJesus, and we prepare to go to Jim Knox.
All right, Dave, real quick time for the progressive fan of the game. Before we get to that, this has to be the sign of the game. Marry Me Hamilton, he's just arm candy. Good one there. But the progressive fan of the game has to be Grant from Frisco. Broke his arm earlier in the week by taking a fastball inside, no problem. Put the cast on. Big-time Ranger fan. Came out the game to root the Rangers on to victory. What do you have to say, Grant?
Go Rangers!
There we go. Here's the bag. Here's the hat. Here's the shirt. Congratulations. Love the cast there. There you go, Dave.
All right, Jim. Here's DeJesus representing the potential tying run at the plate here. But also a potential 4-6-3 double play, and that's what happened.
I love it. I love the fact that Matt Harrison said, I'm fine on a 100-degree day with 107 or 106 pitches. I want to go back out there. Ron Washington, after the leadoff hit by Weeks, didn't even stir from his seat. Let him stay out there. Probably wanted him to face the left-hand hitting DeJesus. Probably wanted him to face Coco Crisp, for that matter. Crisp is hitting 60 points higher left-handed than he is right-handed. And Matt comes right back after the base hit, gets a great pitch for that double play. A chance to finish 8 innings instead of 7. And that's at a time when the bullpen's well rested. Mark hasn't pitched in a while. He's been throwing the ball fine. Yeah, Ron Washington's got the confidence in Matt to go out there for the 8th inning. Good lessons right here.
Left field, Murphy comes in and it falls for a hit in front of him. So Coco Crisp back to back.
Hit that right off the end of the bat. Now it's a little different situation. Now you've got a right-hand hitting power hitter coming up. A right-hander in the bullpen. And Ron's probably going to make a change right here.
At Harrison today, 112 pitches, 71 for strikes, and leaves with a 6-hit shutout through 7 2/3 innings. And this ovation from nearly 34,000 at the ballpark.
Well, he deserves it.
Mark Two outs in the 6th inning, then a walk to Hamilton, followed by this. A 2-run home run by Adrian Beltre, 400-footer, his 19th of the year. And those the only 2 runs in this game allowed by Matt Harrison or Trevor Cahill. But Harrison turns it over now to Mark Lowe to try and get the last out with 2 men on here in the 8th inning.
Yeah, Mark's throwing the ball really well. Got off to a little bit of a tough start in spring training. Went back to the minor leagues, tweaked his stretch delivery a little bit. And it seems the more he goes out there, the better he's getting. ERA has gone down. He's been throwing the ball in the upper 90s. His slider's getting better, and so is his changeup.
And he starts Willingham with strike 1.
Good location with that fastball. Excellent job by Matt Harrison on a hot day. He had good stuff.
If Lowe gets out of this, then this will be his 3rd start this year to leave not having allowed a run. The other 2 were back in May. May 22nd at Philadelphia. 8 1/3 shutout innings, 5 hits in a 2-0 Ranger win. Next start May 28th against Kansas City. 5 shutout innings in a 6-inning appearance and a 10-1 Ranger win. Willingham struck out swinging his first time up, leading off the 2nd, singled in the 4th. Only the 2nd base hit, first one to get out of the infield for the A's at that point. Last time up, caught looking. 2 of the 7 strikeouts today by Harrison. They are running and out at second base. Mike Napoli gunning down Coco Crisp, who was after his 27th stolen base of the year. Napoli throws out his 5th of 13 would-be base stealers, and it remains 2-0 Texans. For the A's, as they got only the minimum 3 batters, 2 of whom singled. But in between you had the De Jesus double play and Napoli gunning down Crisp trying to steal second. So Murphy, Kinsler, Andrews here in the Ranger 8th. David singled his first time up, grounded to short in the 5th. Cahill about to throw his 98th pitch this afternoon. He has only had 1 complete game in his now 2.5 years in the major leagues. That was last August 2nd, a 3-hitter against Kansas City.
I think one of the reasons for the fact that he basically got, not basically, he did. He got to the big leagues to stay when he was only 21 years old. And I think they've tried to monitor his innings, monitor his pitch counts, because he's still physically kind of in the formative stage. And I think most baseball people feel that that's when you're more susceptible to overuse and an injury. So they kept him to 178 innings his first year. He went up to 196 last year, and he's probably on pace for somewhere around 196 or 200 innings this year. But there's been plenty of times this year where he's left with fewer than 100 pitches as they, I'm sure, continue to try to protect him. The other young pitcher that also got to the big leagues at the same time at age 21 was Brett Anderson. And I know they've tried to do the same thing with him, but still Anderson's had some injuries. In fact, he's on the disabled list right now.
In their bullpen right now. Double-barreled action there. The left-hander Brian Fuentes, and the right-hander is Grant Balfour. Next pitch will be number 102 for Cahill. And at 2-0, he gets a strike in on Ian Kinsler, who singled to begin the game. Rangers have only 4 other base hits. Two balls and 2 strikes. So Cahill almost shutting down this hottest of offenses going to the All-Star break. Rangers have 7 straight games with double-digit hits. 8 of the 9 games so far they've played in the month of July. But today halfway there, but they had the one swing that has gotten us to this point, and that was the 2-out 2-run home run by Adrian Beltre following the walk to Josh Hamilton in the 6th inning. That ball just fouled down the third base line. Keeping you up on Seattle and the Angels now in the top half of the 6th inning in Anaheim, and that is a 2-2 game still. Neftali Feliz will be ready for the 9th. Kinsler works a walk. A very patient at bat, producing one of the few base runners that Trevor Cahill has allowed today. Only his second walk. The other one was to Hamilton, and then Beltre performed his heroics.
Well, Ian's got his batting average up over 250. His on base percentage is probably around 366, 367ish, somewhere around in there. Both numbers continue to rise. And we talked about the guys in the middle of the lineup and how productive they've been. You don't get this chance to be productive if the guys ahead of you aren't getting on base, and that's what Ian's been doing.
Ian now 1 for 3 with a walk. Elvis 1 for 2, a sacrifice in the first. A double in the third, and last time out grounded out to the third baseman Sizemore. He's hoping to turn 2 here. Haven't done so yet today. Not that many base runners, though. And Cahill just missing wide there. Ball and a strike to Elvis. Looking ahead to the Oakland 9th inning, they will have their 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Willingham, Sizemore, and Carter due up. Right field, and making the catch to Jesus. Looked like it froze him a little bit, just for an instant.
Second ball, Elvis has hit 2 days just like that, right straight at the right fielder. Waited on a pitch well, went the other way just like you want to see him do. Hit the ball hard just like he's trying to do. But the misfortune of hitting it right at the right fielder.
And Bob Melvin has the lefty Brian Fuentes loose now, with Josh Hamilton ready to step up. And Cahill now at 109 pitches. And he will make the move here. So an outstanding outing by Trevor Cahill, except for the one pitch in the 6th inning. The only thing standing between him and a scoreless tie. So it'll be Fuentes versus Hamilton when we come back. In the Hall, personal stories of some of baseball's greatest legends. Today, it's Tom Brokaw and Robin Roberts. Don't miss that after the game. Boys in the Hall, presented by Subway, where winners eat. Well, veteran left-hander Brian Fuentes called on here to try and get the last out of the 8th inning with Ian Kinsler aboard, following 109 pitches, 68 strikes from Trevor Cahill.
40 games for Fuentes. He's been used a lot. Unusual record for a late inning reliever, 1-8. You don't necessarily tend to see a late inning reliever with that many decisions. 12 out of 15 saving ball games while Andrew Bailey was hurt.
It has not been a particularly good first half of the season for Brian Fuentes. He was their closer while Andrew Bailey was on the DL until late May. Fuentes a .502 earned run average in 16 appearances since then, when he has not been their closer. I guess we got a day-night face-off here. Josh batting in the day, and Fuentes during the day has an ERA of 0.52. At night, it's 8.69 for whatever that may be worth. Fuentes last year began as the Angels closer, finished it up the Minnesota Twins setup man. Challenge here with Hamilton in the late innings, and a chance to add to the lead. 1 ball and 1 strike now. Hamilton, and then if he gets on base, it would be Beltre, who today has hit his 19th home run and run his RBI total to 71. High and well back into the seats down the left field line, and it's 1-2. Both starters today just outstanding. Matt Harrison 7 2/3, no runs on 6 hits, struck out 7 and walked 1. Cahill also went 7 2/3, and Fuentes comes in to strike out Hamilton. So for the Angels, or for the Rangers coming into the 9th inning, they will face Willingham, Sizemore, and Carter.
part to keep that 0 on the scoreboard for the Oakland A's. Now it is up to Neftali Feliz. Welcome back to Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Emily Jones now on this set of Rangers Live. I will be joined by Steve Busby and Jim Sundberg as we break this one down from top to bottom. Hopefully a sweep if things continue to go well here in the 9th for the Texas Rangers. And of course we'll get you ready for the second half, including how Ron Washington is setting up his rotation coming out of the All-Star break, guys.
All right, Emily. Well, Neftali Feliz comes on in search of his 18th save of the year.
The numbers aren't quite as good as they were last year. He's had a couple of times this year where he struggled a little bit, especially with his command. He's walked 18 batters in 33 innings, and that's something you don't want to see with a closer. Closer usually comes in without much margin for error, and every walk can really come back to hurt you. And his walk totals are up a little bit this year.
First pitch inside to Willingham. Feliz last pitched on Friday night, and he walked the first man he faced in the ninth. That was Connor Jackson in a non-save situation. And Jackson would come around to score. But Feliz has converted his last 3 save opportunities. And he's got Willingham, Sizemore, Carter here in the 9th inning, and he misses on his first 3 pitches to Willingham.
To give you an idea of how much he has struggled with his control this year, last year he walked 18 batters the whole season in 69 innings. This year he's walked 18 in 33, so his control is just about was twice as good last year as it is so far this year.
Well, he gets a strike there. The A's trying to do something that they've accomplished just 5 times this year. Win after trailing into the 9th inning. They are 4-40 in those games coming into today. And he comes back to fill up the count, now at 3-2 to Willingham, who has one of the 6 Oakland base hits today, 2 of the 7 strikeouts while Matt Harrison was in there. And the 3-2 pitch hit to left center field. All the way to the wall is Murphy, and up against it. He makes the catch for the first out of the 9th inning.
Now, you can tell that would be a tough play because Willingham hit the ball pretty well. It's a very sunny day. David's got a long run to go get it, so he's got to, number one, get back in time right near the wall and battle the sun. But he does a nice job, as does Feliz, who came back from a 3-0 count to get that leadoff hitter. David looks like he sees it all the way, not having a problem with the sun.
Yeah, he just had to keep readjusting a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper.
Yep.
Right when he was about to run out of room, here came the first out. And now ball and a strike to Sizemore, 0 for 3. Out in their on deck circle now to bat for Chris Carter is Hideki Matsui. Hop up. Looking like it might be playable, and Napoli reaches over, says hello to the Ryan family, and takes care of out number 2.
I don't think he held on to it, Dave. He had it in his glove, right in the tip of his glove, and then as he made contact with the wall, the ball just slips out. He tries to bring it back. It hits off his chest protector, and down it goes. Almost a nice play right in front of Mr. Ryan. Couldn't quite hang on to it.
Well, the next pitch.
No problem.
Neftali Feliz takes care of Sizemore with a strikeout.
Yep, Mike comes back and says, okay, I let that one get away. Now throw me your breaking ball, and we'll take care of the hitter, which he did.
Boy, is that taking care of picking up a teammate or what? So here is Matsui, last chance for the A's. And Feliz will face a struggling Hideki Matsui here. 0 for his last 14, 5 for his last 41. This season, just a long downhill slide for Matsui, batting just .210, the third lowest batting average in the American League. But with power. And now ahead of the count, 2 balls and no strikes. If Matsui reaches, Kurt Suzuki is in the on-deck circle, representing the potential tying run.
Feliz has fallen behind several times, but he's a couple of times, but he's come right back with a strike.
33,834 on their feet, trying to help Feliz end this game. And that one will eventually reach the seats. Sky high foul pop, and now the A's are down to their final strike. Ron Washington headed to the All-Star game in Phoenix. 1 out away from heading out there with a season-long 7-game winning streak. Two pitch just misses inside, and it's a full count to Matsui. Pitch almost comes back over the zone. Wash thought he had it. Instead, here's the 3-2. Back out of play. Matsui remains alive. Mariners and the Angels, 2-2 now into the top of the 7th inning. So Feliz pitching here to guarantee the Rangers will have sole possession of first into the break. Roller on the right side. Moreland gloves. Shovels to Feliz, and the Rangers shut out the A's 2-0 to complete a 4-game sweep and give them their longest winning streak of the year at 7 games. Adrian Beltre's 2-run home run in the 6th inning. The only offense after last night's heroics, with 2 out in the bottom of the 9th by Josh Hamilton. In each case, home runs proving decisive.
A nice play all the way around. Relatively easy play. Mitch fields it, flips to Feliz.